and economic equality. Providing equality in the, especially in the area of economical affairs, can be called it as an economic equality. Say, for example, another one, if you could see the natural equality. What is a natural equality? It can be understood in many ways. In a one sense, the principles of natural equality emphasizes that all people are equal before the nature with equal powers and the talents. See, for example, everybody, the God, I mean, the nature has given, in the nature, no one will be treated as an unequal. Say, for example, if you could see, and Rousseau's ideology on the equality, natural equality, he has put down in his book, Discourses on the Origin of Inequality.
Good morning, sir.
In the 1755, the discourses on the origin of equality have been provided that, and everyone have a naturally given power. See, for example, you can think properly. One can think and one can make their, I mean, wills as they, one can think about their wills and one can makes it an ideas to accomplishments of such, I mean, things, and all of them that comes under the purview of natural equality. You know that there is some inequalities which may happen truly. Like, say, for example, some people might be physically handicapped. Some people may be naturally and healthiest people. But that equality cannot be comes under the purview of natural equality. Natural equality is equality which gives an equality to each and everyone in terms of their, I mean, thinking, in terms of to live in a society, all of them, isn't it? And also at the same time, another equality, if you could see, that is an international equality. What does it mean, international equality? This refers to the principles of equality among nation states that are at global level. Under this principle, all nations should be treated equally. For example, see, in the world, no nations which it can be considered as an higher, no nation which it can be considered as an lower. But there is an inequality may happen between the one nation and another nation in terms of geographical extension, demographic profiles. Say, for example, geographical extensions, if you could see, and area-wise, some states would be very lengthiest, area-wise, some states would be in the very tiny. Demographic in terms of population, some states, some nations could be more populated countries, some nations are less populated countries. But these and indifferences which it can be takes place between the one another, but giving an importance to the nations will be treated equally. That it shall be considered as an international equality. For example, say United Nations of organizations, if you could see, and under the United Nations of organization, every nation would be given an equal importance. As we have 194 nations who are the members of United Nations of organization, and all the nations are theoretically enjoying equal status among themselves without having any kind of a distractions and without finding any sort of an inequality between them, isn't it? If the United Nations of organizations have prepared the law which it can be prepared to each and every country, and those who are members of the United Nations of organization, but implementation of the law would not be given any sort of the privilege to one nation and another nation, isn't it? So all these things which it can be comes under the purview of this international equality. Hope you have understand that and how this inequality and will present it, and when you are implying to the nation, how you if you imply the equality to economy, that it can be called as economic equality. If you imply the equality to the legal, that it should be considered as a legal equality. So all these things, in order to flourishing of the best and equality and equal world, we practiced a kind of an equality in our, I mean, a political science. You shall discuss in higher classes about what Rousseau said about equality. What is this thought process about regarding equality by Rousseau? What are the equality that it can be presented in the Indian Constitution? How this has been defined, and all of them you shall understand in the other classes, isn't it? That's all about in here equality. So we have discussed about an equality law, and also at the same time here another point which we have discussed about in law, equality, and also at the same time liberty. All these three principles are finished. The next lesson we are going to start of that is rights and justice. That was the second unit. What is the rights are here? Now let me tell you. Anybody have questions regarding it? You can ask me the question so that I will explain about about equality. If you do not understand, please let me ask the questions and don't be ideal. Is that my voice is clear to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just wait. I'll just keep it in a earphone so that you can speak to me very clearly. Yes, please. You can ask the questions. Yes, please. Any questions from your end? Any questions? Is that my voice is audible to everybody? Yes, please. Okay. So we'll go to the rights. Okay. What are the rights which have been presented? And what are the ideologies of rights that is given in your lesson? No, rights means, can anybody tell me then a general meaning of right? What is the right? You may often use that right, that I have a right to ask, I have a right to go, all these things which is there, isn't it? What are the rights?
Authority.
ठीक है, हर किसी को यहाँ पर राइट दिए गए हुए, राइट, एंड राइट्स के माने होते हैं हर किसी का एग्जिस्टेंस के लिए थोड़े से, आई मीन समथिंग something which is required to existence of human on the earth for securely. For example, देखिए भारत के संविधान में लिखा गया है कि जो भी इंडियन सिटीजन से सारे लोग को राइट्स दिया जाएगा. इस राइट्स किस लिए दिया जाएगा? Why actually the constitution have provided rights to everyone, and what is the rights here? The thing is very important. You must understand that what is rights. Is that my voice is clear to everybody? Why? I mean, the person provided a rights to every individual. ఎందుకు హక్కులు తెలుగులో మాట్లాడితే ఇక్కడ హక్కులు అంటాం. ఓకే, ప్రాథమిక హక్కులు అంటాం. ఓకే, there are many things which you can find out on. What is an hakkulu? Do you understand my point and everybody? Okay, I will explain the rights. See here, the rights are, I think you might have listened that in rights and duties and all of them, isn't it? In the rights, if you could take it as a meaning of a rights here, what is the rights actually? How do we understand? Every state guarantees certain rights for a citizen for his existence on the earth. Rights may be described as a socially recognized conditions without no individual can live on the earth or live on his own as he wishes to want. For example, we can't live as we wish to do it. We have to obey certain principles, isn't it? Similarly, and others cannot live as their life as they wish. What is the rights in the words of Barker? The definitions as given according to Barker, rights are the external conditions necessary for the possible development of capacities of the personality, means individual. Rights are essential for the conditions, external condition. Ante, see, for example, today, one can directly go and one can disturb others easily in India. Say, for example, I have a person living in his home. Why can't other person actually can come in his home and why can't he disturb them? Similarly, a person who lives in the home, why can't go his and others and why can't disturb entire the society? Because in every individual has consist of certain conditions. Okay, in order to protect the anybody's conditions or external conditions, and here the rights are being provided for individuals who lives in the society. This has given in definitions by Barker. Similarly, Gilchrist is one of the authors in the political science of says that according to them, rights arise therefore from individual as a member of society and from recognition that for the society there is ultimate good which may be reached by the development of the powers inherent in every individual. And you know that in order to lead his life very happily, ఒక వ్యక్తి తన యొక్క జీవితాన్ని సరైన రీతిలో ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేయడానికి ఎలాంటి ఒడిదుడుకులు లేకుండా తన యొక్క జీవనాన్ని సాగించడానికి కావాల్సినటువంటి ఆయన ఒక కండిషన్స్ మెథడ్సే అవి రైట్స్ అని చెప్తాడు గిల్క్రిస్ట్, isn't it? So as if you could see, according to these definitions, broadly we classified the rights and in a many types. What are the rights which you can understand here is that, let's say for example, legal theory rights, historical theory rights, natural theory of rights, that it can be defined under the different theories and how it is explained. However, if you could see the kinds of the rights, you shall understand very easily. Legal right. Every person is guaranteed to get the legal justice and in order to lead his life very happily. That it can comes under the legal right. See, according to the political right, in order to a person enjoys all the political benefits like right to vote and right to question the leader, right to be a participated into the elections, right to questions any of a political leader, and all such things which is and comes under the purview of a political rights. The rights which is given to the person to enjoy all the political benefits, it can be considered as a political right. The right to the personal liberty, isn't it? The life is meaningless if a man has no right to exercise his faculties. What is the faculties means? His wish and his desires. If you do not want to enjoy his desires, like say for example, if you want to become an officer, if you do not become, if the state is been putting some restrictions on you, that it can be called it as a right. In order to enjoy your all the personal faculties, okay, your faculties, that it shall be given as a right. So as there are many things which you can understand, the kinds of the rights you can understand in this lesson. However, we'll discuss tomorrow on other topics. Thank you everyone to join the session.